You are watching the CCRI channel from the Community College of Rhode Island, online at ccri.edu/channel.
Hello and welcome to CCRI Today. I'm your host, Morgan Judd, a reporter for CCRI Events. As the 2022 fall semester comes to a close, we're looking at 4 interviews that were produced by students in the studio production class. The 4 interviews focuses on theater production, the scene shop, CCRI radio, and the opera classes. Today's first interview was done by our first guest on the show, Amelia Lombard. Amelia had the opportunity to interview Mariah Hoffins about the CCRI Players Club. Hello, Amelia, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Morgan. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. Now, what made you choose to interview Mariah?
So first of all, we started off with coming up with our topic of what we wanted to interview about. I have a lot of friends in the CCRI Players, so it was an automatic thought to me that I brought up to my group, how about we talk about the CCRI Players? And when it came to deciding somebody to interview, I asked a few of my friends if anybody was interested, and Mariah eagerly said yes, she would love to help us, and she doesn't mind us following her around for a little bit.
So with that interview, what did you and your group do?
Yeah, so we followed Mariah through one of her rehearsals of the show that's already passed, but at the time it was Clown Bar. So we looked in on one of the rehearsals, looked at her other cast members, looked at some of the other people who are involved in behind the scenes, you know, the media representation and the lights people, but we looked at what goes on behind the scenes of a show. And it was really cool to just be an onlooker of all this hard work that these actors and all of the crew people are putting in for this one show. Hello, my name is Amelia Lombard, and today I'm joined with Mariah Hoffins, a crucial member of the CCRI Players. Thank you for joining me today, Mariah.
Hello, hi Amelia.
So, big question, because we're talking about the CCRI Players in general. What got you into theater?
What got me into theater, honestly, I guess, was in high school. I did a lot of clubs. I joined 11 clubs in high school.
Whoa.
So, and drama was one of them, middle school or like in grade school. So I immediately was like, that's one of the main clubs I really wanted to join in high school, and that's basically what got me into it.
So you're in the CCRI Players. What is your involvement? Have you done only acting? Have you done more?
So I have acted in a few shows for CCRI Players, but last semester, the spring semester for 3 Years of 30, for the CCRI Players was the first time I did props master.
So what's the role of a prop master?
Basically, you're in charge of props. You're in charge of just kind of getting all the props for either just like set dressing, set props, which are like the posters, things that sometimes don't move or change from scene to scene. But you're also in charge of like the hand props, which are the props that the actors use.
The prop master is really in charge of setting the scene for the show.
Setting the scene, yeah, setting the
Gotcha.
vibes, yeah.
So how has the CCRI Players helped you build relationships? Have you made more friends, or is it kind of just you stick to your own thing?
Through CCRI Players, honestly, yeah, I feel like I've definitely made a lot more friends. Like, just I feel like theater, involving yourself in theater in general, even if you're not a theater major, like you just create like a home, like a bunch of friends, like a new family, you know, through theater. I definitely have made a lot of long-lasting friendships.
Hi, my name is Elias Evander. There's something magical about the community that building a show brings together.
Hi, my name is Abby Pezza. I am the publicist for the CCRI Players, and I love theater and I love CCRI.
What
advice do you give to people who are considering doing a theater major or are just doing acting for fun in these tough times?
I don't know, I guess just like don't be afraid to do it. Honestly, like don't be afraid. The first step is that audition. Like once you get past that, I feel like after that everything is just easier because you're already in the show. Can't really mess up from there, you know?
So how can people get involved if they're interested?
Auditioning, I guess. Just Ted Clement, kind of one of the main people in CCRI Players. He sends out emails for auditions for upcoming shows, so you can definitely email him.
So for the rest of this 2022-2023 season, what shows do the CCRI Players have in the lineup?
Next semester for the spring is going to be Rent and Yellow Man, I believe.
Thank you so much, Mariah, for sitting down and talking to me. And
Of course.
thank you for watching.
Bella Mariano interviewed Justin Carroll, the technical director for the theater program. So Bella, what made you and your group choose Justin to interview?
We chose Justin because we always found the behind the scenes of the theater and prop making very interesting, so it just made sense to work with Justin.
So now tell me a little bit about the work you and your group did.
Me and Tiffany, we were able to go into the scene shop and get our B-roll footage, and we were able to see all the different tools and material Justin works with. And DeAndre and Damien, they were the ones that edited the video, and they put a lot of hard work into that.
Tell me a little bit more. Was there anything else you'd like to add?
Justin also offers students to come into the scene shop and be employees to help out with the prop making, and if they don't want to work with tools, they're able to go into the theater and help out with lighting. And I also learned that you don't have to be in the theater program to help out in the scene shop. It's anybody can help out as long as they're a student in CCRI.
Oh, so that sounds nice. So you can just come in and join whenever you'd like.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys learned a lot, and it seemed very interesting for you guys. Anything else you'd like to add? Anything else you learned?
We were also able to go into the theater and see the final prop that he was making, which was the bar for our clown bar, and that's the footage we got of him making it. So it was really cool to see everything he was working on finally put together.
So you learned how to make a few props as well, or did you just see some of the props being
No,
made?
I just saw him make them.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's very interesting. So it seems like your group left learning a lot that you guys may not have known beforehand.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, and it sounds like it's going to be an interesting interview that you guys did about, you said the clown bar?
It was, at the time he was working on Clown Bar, but it was also about his experience as like a technical theater.
Nice. So let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Bella from the CCRI student, and I am interviewing the technical director, Justin, here at CCRI Warwick campus. Justin, can you talk about a little bit what you do here?
Sure. I'm Justin. I'm the technical director for the theater program. The theater program is part of the performing arts program, so we're under that umbrella. I am in charge of building all the scenery with the help of my student employees and lab students from the classes that we offer, installing all the lighting and installing all the sound for all the productions that we do. I'm in charge of the technical rehearsals when they happen and just maintaining the scene shop and the inventory that we have.
What is your official job title? What is the correct term for your profession?
My job title is theater technical director. It's called different things, director of productions, stuff like that, but in the school it's theater technical director.
So students can participate in the scene shop?
Oh, it's primarily students. I'm the only full-time staff member in the scene shop. I hire student employees. I usually get up to 5. And with varying experiences, sometimes people come in knowing how to use tools. I've had to teach people what a hammer is, so it's a wide range. And then when the students start to see something that they like, I'll give them that to focus on. I have a couple students who don't like the scene shop at all because they're afraid of the power tools. So their job is to hang lights or install the sound equipment. And so they're learning about lighting technology and sound technology, while other students who like to use their hands a little more, they'll be doing the scenic work.
So besides wood, what other materials and power tools can students expect in the scene shop?
So power tools, we have a standard array of power tools: table saw, the band saw, the chop saw, power saws that you hold, hand saws, You get a whole experience of different types of power tools and different types of techniques to use them.
Do you use other materials besides wood?
We use wood, we use foam. This next show we're doing called Death Trap will have a bunch of fake rocks that we're going to make out of rigid foam that's used for insulating houses. Then we'll make those the shapes, and then our scenic painter will paint them to make them actually look like something that's not just foam.
Well, I just want to say thank you for letting me interview you today.
Of course.
And I hope this encourages any other students here at CCRI to come check out the scene shop and even see a play at CCRI.
Great, thank you.
Welcome back to CCRI Today. Now, before we interview our next guest, Walter Goodkind, and later on in the show, Elizabeth Woody, we're going to take a short commercial break first.
You are watching the CCRI channel from the Community College of Rhode Island, online at ccri.edu/channel.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Walter Goodkind interviewed Professor Dorn, the faculty advisor of the radio show, and the professor in the communication and media department. Walter, what made you and your group interested in the CCRI station?
Well, one of our group members, Ashley, is one of the live DJs on the rotation at the CCRI radio station, and so we felt like it would be a great opportunity to get more information out there about the station and the activities that they're doing. So it was a pretty rapid decision.
That's great. And did you guys learn anything interesting about the radio production from the station that you can share with us today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So they put on a variety of shows. They've got multiple DJs that take over live programs throughout the week, and they are working on introducing podcasts at this point, and supposedly there's a whole variety of topics that could potentially be covered. So it seems like there's a whole lot more that they're going to be able to offer.
With that being said, now let's take a look at the station.
All right, hello, I am Walter Goodkind, and I'm here with Professor John Dorn of the CCRI radio station, and we're here to just dive a little more in depth today. So we got a couple of questions for you. How long has the radio station been around?
So it's actually been around since fall of 2017, so about 5 years old now, and I was one of the part-time teachers helping out with the launch of the radio in that first semester. So I've been helping out with it since the beginning, and then kind of took over as the advisor about a year after that.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so what kind of programs or activities do you have going on?
Yeah, so every week we have live DJs. We have more than 10 right now, doing like 2-hour shows throughout the week on weekdays. They broadcast live from our radio booth on the night campus. And so those are happening throughout the week. We have 24/7 music rotation when we don't have a live DJ, and we're starting to work on some other shows like pre-recorded shows and podcasts and stuff. The main things we're working on now are kind of continuing to expand the live DJ lineup. So we're always looking for more DJs. We have a lot of slots. And it's a fun experience. And then we're kind of trying to get into like podcast programming, so offering like a section on our website with podcasts done by students and other members of the community. And so that's something where we're starting to record stuff and put it out this semester, and then we're going to have kind of like a big launch of that end of things in the spring.
That's awesome. So if students wanted to get involved, where would they go? What steps would they take to try to get their own program?
So the first thing you can do is go to our website, which is ccri.edu/radio, and just email us radio@ccri.edu. One of us will reach out. Our station manager, Tiffany Van Nerden, or myself, or one of the DJs, can reach out and schedule training to be a DJ. And then basically the process is you do a couple training sessions and then like a guided live show, and then you're kind of on your own. You show up and do your show in the booth.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Elizabeth Woody interviewed Professor Williamson. She is the professor of the opera classes and the leader of the opera club. Elizabeth, what made you and your group interested in interviewing Professor Williamson?
So it's kind of a funny story. When we have our studio production class, they have a class at the same time. So we always hear them rehearse in the hall and actually even in the class. So hearing them rehearse got us interested. So we kind of went over, met some of the students, and I got to meet the professor, and we talked about what they were rehearsing for. And yeah, that's pretty much how we came to be.
So how was the interview for you and your group?
The interview, at first, we had some scheduling issues, but then we figured everything out and we were able to get it done, and it went pretty well.
That's good that it went pretty well. Did you guys learn anything, or did you find anything interesting within your interview?
Yeah, learning, she did a bunch. I learned what operetta was. I didn't know what that was before, but she put together a whole bunch of different songs, Disney songs, opera songs, and that was really cool to see.
Yeah, for you and your group to watch that happening as class was going on. Very interesting. Anything else you'd like to add about you and your group's experience within watching the opera class?
It was a really fun time, and this show was like a preview show for their main musical, Into the Woods, which is coming out in the springtime. I don't know the exact dates for that yet, but it's definitely sometime in the spring, so look out for that.
Sounds very interesting. It sounds like you guys learned about the opera class and then also the club, as you had mentioned. So it sounds like it will be a really great interview about the opera and the opera club.
Yep, I hope everyone enjoys it for sure.
So now let's take a look.
Elizabeth Woody, and I am here with Professor Wilhelmsen, and we will be talking about her cabaret. So tell me a little bit about your cabaret.
Okay, so it's for our opera workshop, which is a class and a club here at CCRI, and it's a performance of musical theater scenes and opera scenes, and even a little bit of operetta scenes.
What songs are featured in the cabaret?
Okay, so we are featuring We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. The students are loving it, and I think the audience, it will be a favorite as well. Another Disney, A Whole New World, and Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. Some other things we're doing, we have a cat duet where they're singing Meow the whole time. It's very funny and very cute. a few scenes from Into the Woods as a preview for our spring full production. So we're doing the big opening number that includes every person in the class and club. And we're also doing Agony and the Agony Reprise, which is a duet of two brothers that are princes that are agonizing over the princesses they're chasing. It's very funny, very cute.
That's awesome. Sounds like you have a little bit of everything in there. Everything sounds very fun and exciting. I can't wait to see it. When are the dates and how can people buy tickets?
Okay, so it is on December 13th, a Tuesday at 5 p.m. here at the night campus in the band room 0540. And actually, this performance is free.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So we are accepting donations, but we do charge ticket fees for our full production in the spring, which Into the Woods. However, it is a low price of $5 or $10, depending on if you're a student or faculty member or outside.
All right. Do you know the dates for Into the Woods yet?
I do. Yeah. That is April 21st and 22nd, and that will be in the Bobby Hackett Theater, here also in the Round Building at Night Campus.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in and doing this interview with me, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you for watching another episode of CCRI Today. I hope these interviews interest many students to try out the different programs and classes mentioned in this episode. If you are wondering how this episode was made, think about taking a studio production class here at the Warwick campus. And you can also watch more student projects and learn more about the groups featured today at ccri.edu/channel.
You are watching the CCRI channel from the Community College of Rhode Island, online at ccri.edu/channel.